Hey guys, this is Maniac, and today I'm very pleased to introduce my second hopefully you can see it right there. There we go. My my Valentine character deck profile of the orichalcos era, which means now last time that I uploaded, of course, the character deck profile of Rebecca Hawkins of this arc. I'm going and putting up now the very character deck profile of my Valentine, which also she was also taking place into this era, very surprisingly to, I think, many who watched it the first time, since the background of her story was she broke the contact with her former friends, namely around Yugi Muto and his Joey Wheeler and his group. She was taking place in several contests and tournaments, regional as well as world tournaments of the Duel Monsters game. She won most of them, but still she didn't become that satisfied, which resulted in her being eventually frustrated and then feeling kind of bitterness and exhaustion all about it. So that as a result, later on she was approached by Valon, one of the members of the orichalcos group, which she surprisingly lost, and then she was so done with herself, with her aims, her attitude, and of course also physically and mentally broken, that as a result, and as Valon offered her this possibility, she took part into the world of the orichalcos to gain more power, and also Valon manipulated her into basically the fact that her friends betrayed her, which is not the reality. It was just the kind of tools of manipulation which were used by Dartz and his gang. And then all of a sudden she joined this group as she sought to get rid of her depressions and lost dreams and all those things which brought her to this very moment. Eventually she she did meet Dartz, and then she dedicated herself and her life to the orichalcos to overcome her PTSD, which she not only had in relation to her friends, but as also especially in the respect that she, of course, as she encountered Marik, Marik, and she lost to him, and she was sent to the shadow ream of the due to the Millennium's pieces. She had a very trauma time during that time. She was in the shadow ream, so yeah. These fears haunted her unto this day, that she might eventually be drawn into such a world again, and she was had so much trauma about that she was eventually even ready to forget herself about her personality and her friends and to commit her fully to the orichalcos world. So that much about her background. She bumped then later on, as she defeated, also what is to mention, one of the main characters of the whole Yugi series, namely Pegasus, who was of course the creator of the whole game in the modern times. She defeated him, and but she told then, as she bumped into Yugi and his group, that she wanted only to defeat Joey Wheeler, which was maybe her closest friend. And then, as she was eventually challenging him to fight against her. She almost lost then, as Joey Wheeler was reluctant to fight back. But then, as he guarded himself and took all the strength to overthrow her thoughts and to convict her from being a good person again, and again herself, he eventually fought back and took the challenge right on. Now onto this deck profile. On the main strategy of her was based around her new cards which she gained, namely the Harpier Phoenix formation and the Harpier Sparrow formation, and I think there was a third one which was called 3 Mirror Armor or something like that, which was a trap card. She had, of course, those two basic lines of strategies which were solely based on the Harpiers monster cards as well as spell trap cards on the one side, and on the other side, of course, the Amazonas card section. From the Amazonas card section, you do not see the monster cards, but she, I think, plays out the Amazonas spellcaster, so we can guess that she also had these monsters in her deck. But, and as I have to admit it, it was more dominant in terms of her Harpier cards, and there were no other cards added. For example, other monster cards, for example, the witch, Dunamis, the dark witch, or the bird head, or something like that. These cards were all excluded in this special character deck profile, and this artist were mainly based on these two strategies, namely Harpiers and, of course, the Amazonas, but more on the Harpies and her combinations with the spell and trap cards onto that. Now, let's go. Of course, Harpy, my Valentine is known for the Harpies, so yeah, of course she had one Harpier 1, one Harpier 2, and one Harpier 3. You might have also checked that, of course, possibility she had the Harpier, Lady Harpier, but yeah, as these effects of these three cards they are called Lady Harpier for all of the game. It is makes no difference, but you have the three different artworks or sisters of the Harpier as Harpier 1 and 2 and 3, so I chose this version because I think it shows a better differentiation onto that base form. Then, of course, a card which was particularly in this arc very strong use was Cyber Harpier, which was, of course, used 3 times in this deck, but I had, if the possibility was there, you had it even more due to the effect of the orichalcos. And I think the trap mirror gemma made out of 3 cyber harpies, even 6, but she had 3 of course in her deck, so yeah. She's just able to have 3 as cards in her deck, so yeah, I stuck to that 3 because it's otherwise not allowed, of course. This multiplication engine is of course due to a magic or a trap card, so yeah, that's why I put it that way. Then I added a couple of other harpy cards, but first of all, of course, she had Harpius Play Dragon, what was it called, I think. Yeah. And then I put also in there Baby Play Dragon of the Harpies, as I thought it might be a proper that if this one existed, and this might also be had existed into that very arc, then she would have it in her deck as well. Then a card which of course also was played out was Harpy Lady Sisters. Yeah, of course. As I already said and revealed, that this deck is more Harpier based, so I put more in there. And of course, Harpy Oracle, which I think fit also into this deck, as well as Harpy Queen and Harpy Dancer. Now this is onto Harpier monsters. Then we get to the second main tactics of her, namely the Amazonas monster cards, which were not shown in that arc, but as I already mentioned, the spell and trap cards, a couple of them were shown, so you could imagine that she also had these monster cards also in there, like in the Battle City storyline. Then first of all, Amazonas Spy, Amazonas Tiger, Amazonas Disciple, Amazonas Wise, Amazonas Spy Troop, Amazonas Bow Slinger, Amazonas Swordsman, Amazonas Paladin, the Infantry Amazon, and one of the more famous ones even is Amazonas Chainmaster, as he played that one out, I think, against Marik, yami Marik. Further on, Amazonas Blowpiper, Amazonas Fighter, and a card which now recently came out in the Speed Duelist of Shadow Box and Secret Rares, Amazonas Queen. Now, these onto her monster cards. Now onto the spell cards, of course. Of course, as a staple, she got Monster Reborn. She got Spell Reproduction. Then one of her significant cards, most powerful and essential cards, Harpy Phoenix Formation. She played out Harpius Feather Duster, as of course spell and trap cards mechanics, in order to destroy spell and trap cards. Then Amazonas Spellcaster, which I played out 2 times on the Amazonas archetype. And then Ecstatic Funken Triangle onto her Harpius method of defeating her opponents 2 times also. She had another card which was called, I think, Arrow Nail or something like that. But instead I put in there the Cyber Shield, which is also very appropriate. Then, of course, Elegant Egotist 2 times, which she also engaged in the battle. Harpius Hunting Ground, even though 2 times. And then she had Card of Sanctity, which yeah, I do not have in this deck, so I exchanged it for graceful charity. Then she had another spell card, which I'm not sure what is called, but instead of the arrow nail, I think, of course, the arrow nail, I put Twister in there, which has the possibility of her destroying a spell trap card. Then more Amazonas cards, of course, I also have in there, Amazonas spell cards. Amazonas Air Piece, Amazonas Village, Amazonas Fighting Force, Amazonas Call. Again, Amazonas Call, Amazonas Fighting Force, Amazonas Village, Amazonas Air Piece, and Amazonas Spell Caster. And last but not least, a card which also I thought might fit into this deck was Gryphon's Feather Duster. This onto her spell cards. And now I'm coming right up to the trap cards. Amazonas Spear Formation does not exist until now in the TCG, so I was forced to exchange it, and I put in there another card instead of that, which was Shadow of Ice, which she played out I think in the Duelist Kingdom arc, which also works with face down defense position monsters. And I think as does Amazonas Spear Sparrow Formation. Then a card which she also did play out was Trap Jammer against Joey Wheeler, of course. Mirror Wall also, but I'm not quite certain against which opponent that was. And Fairy's Hand Mirror, which has a good negate possibility and option against an opponent which tries to destroy or tries to target in general a winged beast type monster, which you have of course a lot against all type of monsters even. So it also works with the Amazonas cards. Apropos, and the transition was very good. About the Amazon cards, of course, I have here the Amazonas Archers, Dramatic Rescue, Servants of the Queen, Amazonas Stormtroopers, Amazonas Willpower, and two Harpier trap cards in the Historic Party, as well as Harpier Elegance. Guys, that was it. That was my my Valentine character deck profile of the orichalcos era. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit the like and the subscribe button. And I have to add, of course, two factors which I already almost did forget. Namely, of course, she had one Seal of Orichalcos into her deck, but I'm not possessing that card so many times, I think 1 or 2 times even. I had to fill them up in other decks, so yeah, they are not here, and of course I have to add and reconcile myself and redeem myself that in the Alistair deck I was missing the Orichalcos spell card, so which is very significant and essential. So I have to tell you that I of course don't have it that much, and did forget to put it in, of course. Then, and not to forget to mention the Harpier's Feather Storm trap card I do have in here in one of my decks, and she played it also out, so yeah, you might imagine also that very card is also in here as a third Harpier trap card. So now that was really now my deck profile. I hope you guys liked it. And of course, stay tuned for more content, as I will be going up the ranks until we have finally our breakthrough onto this very arc, and then go into the next one. But we have a couple of characters which I will be loading up character deck profiles about, namely Raphael, Weevil Underwood, Rex Raptor, 3 of the villains, and I think Joey Wheeler and Duke Devlin also from the good side, good posture, side of posture. And then, yeah, the darts corrected the profile guys. Maybe I will put it up in a couple of months, but because I think I don't, I won't make it until then, until maybe 1 or 2 weeks to get it, because to purchase it and to get it to here it might take a while because it's very expensive in nature. But as I already said, I will putting it and uploading it sometimes as I have it, and then yeah, I will, even if we are not at another arc, I will load it up again then. Or even better too late. We have a say in Germany, better too late than not at all. No, but this really was it for today. I hope you guys really liked it and enjoyed it, and then I'll see you next time, guys. Your Slatter Maniac. Bye.